And we're live.
Assalamualaikum and welcome to the first episode of Gap Year or Engineer. मैं Altamash Ijaz.
And I'm Ibrahim Abbas. And today we're going to be talking about some of the issues with Pakistan's education system. Yesterday, we put up a story on our Instagram account in which we asked you guys to point out what you thought were some of the biggest problems with Pakistan's education system. We got an overwhelming response. We might not be able to cover all the things that you guys pointed out in the story yesterday. If we can't cover every part of this topic, then we'll maybe make a separate podcast for the other topics that are remaining. Okay, so Altaf, what do you think about this?
हाँ तो अब हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि ज़्यादातर इसी में कवर हो जाए और इंशाल्लाह हो भी जाएगा. अब फर्स्ट थिंग इज पाकिस्तान का एजुकेशन सिस्टम बेस्ड किस चीज़ पर है. देयर आर टू मेन स्ट्रीम्स, द लोकल बोर्ड और दूसरा है आपका कैम्ब्रिज का सिस्टम जो इंग्लैंड से एफिलिएटेड है. अब ये दोनों सिस्टम्स हैं क्या? जो लोकल बोर्ड है वो आपका गवर्नमेंट एफिलिएटेड है, ठीक है, एंड who's running the Cambridge system is mostly
एक सेकंड
private
होल्ड
schools.
करें,
So
होल्ड करें।
यहाँ से
तेरी
आपको
आवाज
ना
थोड़ी कटी है, तेरी आवाज थोड़ी कटी है, कुड यू रिपीट दैट?
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि the private schools they run the Cambridge system and the government runs the local board, and that shows you the difference. मतलब तो यहाँ से आपको महसूस हो जाता है कि यार अच्छा हमें फ़र्क पता लग गया है, क्योंकि the difference is कि जो प्राइवेट स्कूल्स हैं वो उनका कंपटीशन है एक दूसरे के साथ. सो दैट देयर लाइज द मोटिवेशन कि दे हैव टू compete, सो दे गिव आउट द बेस्ट एजुकेशन दे कैन, सो दैट ज़ाहिर है बच्चे उनके पास हैं. दैट्स द ओनली वे प्राइवेट इंस्टीट्यूशन रन्स. तो जो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स हैं आपके, दे डोंट हैव एनी कंपटीशन क्योंकि एक ही गवर्नमेंट एंड दे डोंट नीड टू डू एनीथिंग. तो they the private schools get a lead on that, और जो public schools हैं they are neglected way beyond any recognition. ठीक है, उनका करिकुलम आउटडेटेड है. 1990 से लेके आज तक उनकी बुक्स अपडेट नहीं हुई, वही पुरानी बुक्स हैं. ठीक है, उनको यही पढ़ाया जाता है कि गालिब को आम पसंद है. ठीक है, उनकी बुक्स में ये है कि यार एक बंदा है, ठीक है, उसका तुमने नाम याद रखना है, लेंस लॉ है. ठीक है, लेंस लॉ के फूफी के बेटे के नाम का मैंने क्या करना है, आई डोंट सी एनीथिंग आई एम गोना डू विद दैट. ठीक है, तो यहाँ से आपको थोड़ा बहुत फील आ जाता है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग एफएससी और मैट्रिक वाला जो आपका लोकल बोर्ड है इट्स इंफीरियर, it's on the same level. ठीक है, I would prefer doing FSC या metric as much as I would prefer doing A levels or O levels. लेकिन the problem is it's neglected. ठीक है.
अच्छा, जो अल्ताफ, आई थिंक द पॉइंट यू ट्राइंग टू मेक इज कि देखो, you can choose FSC or metric, right? It costs less, but the idea is that it's not better than the other choice, right? It costs less. That's the only incentive there is. There's no incentive that, hey, this is a better quality of education. It just, you're just like, hey, I'll save some money if I go into this stream instead of going into that stream. And it's good if when you want to educate a nation, you want a cheap system in which you can educate your citizens, right? You don't want something very expensive. But the thing is, the government subsidizes this. The government makes this education like people have to pay a low fee or no fee, right? But the thing is that they don't try to improve the quality of education here, right? It's the same way it has always been. Acha. Another thing that we wanted to point out is that they don't try to improve their own system, and they also, in a way, discredit the other systems. For example, edXL and the Cambridge system, because like I can't find an example of them doing this directly. But if, for example, we look at the equivalents and how equivalences are made for O and A levels, the cap for your equivalences, even if someone has straight A stars, the maximum they can get is a 90%, right? They can't get more than a 90%. So in this way, you're sort of saying for every 10 marks a student in FSC or metric gets, as the same student, if they were in O and A levels, they would get 9 marks for the same 10 marks, right? तो ये मतलब एक बड़ा मसला है. आप मतलब कि kids get top across 5 जो भी होता है subjects in A levels, they could get a world distinction. Nobody cares. Like if that same student had studied FSC, they might have gotten like 98%, 95%, whatever. मतलब तब वो बोर्ड में टॉप करते हैं ना, जो मतलब पूरे मुल्क में टॉप कर रहे हैं लेवल्स में, वो बोर्ड में टॉप कर लेता. तो that's the thing, right? But that student who got a distinction might still be capped at 90%. So Like, also the problem I have with this is that there's no proof. There's no proof that the quality of education in FSC and metric is above the quality of education in O levels and A levels, and vice versa. There's no proof that A levels is better than FSC, right? But the thing
Hmm.
is that if there's no proof that either is better than the other, then, like, to be fair, you have to consider both of them to be equal. You can't say, hey, okay, we're going to mark the FSC students out of 100, and we're going to cap the O and A level students at 90%, right? ओके नाउ एक और चीज़ कि ये मेरे लिए मसला नहीं है क्योंकि मैं बिजनेस पढ़ी है, मैंने अकाउंटिंग में कोई डिग्री लेनी है, जो भी करना है, राइट? ये तेरे लिए भी मसला नहीं है क्योंकि तुमने प्री इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हो, मतलब ज़्यादा मसला नहीं है, राइट? तुम
Hmm.
इंजीनियरिंग में अभी अप्लाई करोगे, तुम शायद बिजनेस वगैरह में भी अप्लाई करो, जो भी करोगे, राइट? तो
Hmm.
बात ये है कि हमें मतलब नस्ट में अप्लाई करेंगे, कहीं और अप्लाई करेंगे, नस्ट में क्या 10% होता है ओ लेवल्स, 15% ए लेवल्स, ये जो भी होता है ना, तो हमें ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता। फर्क ज़्यादा उन्हें पड़ता है जो प्री मेडिकल वाले होते हैं, राइट?
हाँ
प्री
बिल्कुल।
मेडिकल वाले, would you like to say something about that?
हाँ, अब देखो यार, इट्स नॉट फेयर फॉर एवरीवन, ठीक है, स्पेशली जो प्री मेडिकल वाले हैं एंड द वंस हु चूज ए लेवल, ठीक है, उन
Hmm.
लोगों को तो यार डायरेक्टली कहा जाता है यू आर मेकिंग द रॉन्ग चॉइस चूजिंग ए लेवल। दे नॉट मेकिंग द रॉन्ग चॉइस, इट्स देयर ओन चॉइस कि वो ए लेवल लें या एफएससी में जाएं। अब जो
Hmm.
प्री मेडिकल वाले, दे नीड एब्सोल्युटली नीड अबव 90%, लेकिन देयर इज अ कैप ऑन द ए लेवल्स वन।
मतलब आप स्ट्रेट ए स्टार्स लेके आप बैठे तो फिर आपका कुछ शायद बन जाए।
शायद शायद आपका कुछ बने, लेकिन आप अगर एफएससी में है, यू आर गोना गिव अ गुड एफर्ट और अ ब्रिलियंट एफर्ट, तो तुम 98 भी मार सकते हो। लेकिन ए लेवल में तुम अपना सारा जोर लगा दो, तुम सब कुछ छोड़ दो, तुम अपना सारा दाव पे लगा दो ना, तुम 90% से ऊपर जा ही नहीं सकते। एंड द सेकंड थिंग,
Hmm.
तुम सब कुछ लगा के स्टार ले भी लो, तुम डिस्टिंक्शन ले लो, तुम वर्ल्ड में फर्स्ट आ जाओ, ठीक है, यू आर गोना गेट 90%। और सबसे बुरी बात यह है कि साथ साथ आप एफएससी भी 2 महीनों में खत्म करेंगे, तो फिर
Hmm.
आपने वो एंट्री टेस्ट देना टू प्रूव कि हाँ यार, मैंने कैम्ब्रिज में भी वही चीजें पढ़ी है, लेकिन अब मैं दोबारा मैं आपका सिस्टम भी पढ़ूं। तो इजंट इट अनफेयर कि
Also,
ए
you have
लेवल
to do
स्टूडेंट।
that in like 2 months. You
हाँ,
don't
इन
get the
एग्जैक्टली
two
2 मंथ।
years. You have to do your
टू
own
मंथ।
thing in 2 years. Then you have to study all of FSC in 2 months.
हाँ, द सेम थिंग दैट एफएससी वाले स्टडी इन 2 years, there's nothing wrong that they're getting more time, they've chosen that stream. But is it really wrong that someone chose A level and they have to do the
हाँ,
whole of the
मतलब
FSC
you
in
should
two
judge
months
them on their merits, right? You shouldn't judge them on the merits of the FSC system, right?
हाँ एग्जैक्टली और
Also,
यू शुड प्रूव दैट ए लेवल्स इज इन्फीरियर, तो हम इसलिए आपसे ये वाला टेस्ट ले रहे हैं अलग से, बट यू आर नॉट डूइंग दैट, तो तुम
बिल्कुल।
गलत कह रहे हो ना।
अच्छा,
तो
another
इट
thing
शुड
I
बी
wanted
मेड
to,
क्लियर।
yeah, another thing I wanted to add into this was that, for example, students who study business, who study economics, psychology, engineering, even, they have the option to study in Pakistan. And if they apply abroad, they get accepted into some university abroad. They get a good scholarship. They have financial aid, whatever they can afford to go. They have that option to go, right? Very few students in Pakistan have the option to go abroad for medicine because they have to go abroad. They have to study pre-medicine for 4 years. They have to study, then they have to study medicine for how many years? Then they have to do something else. I don't know the whole process, but I know that it takes a very, very long time. That's why no one will opt for that.
एंड
For
इट्स
people who
ऑलमोस्ट द
want to
सेम
be a
लेवल एज
doctor,
इन
they
पाकिस्तान
have
एंड
two.
इंडिया।
They have one option. They can become a doctor in Pakistan, or they can't become a doctor. That's the
या
thing.
या
And there are a lot of students in A levels. Like, I get it. Like, in our society, a lot of people just want to be a doctor because their families are forcing them to be doctors. But I'm sure that there are a lot of people who actually wanted to be a doctor because that's what they were passionate about, right? And those people couldn't become doctors because the system was rigged against them. It just didn't support any A level students going into medicine. It supported the FSC students going into medicine. And no matter how bright a student is, you can't expect someone to be absolutely exhausted after 2 years of giving intermediate exams. And then in 2 months, they have to study another intermediate program and then pass those exams. Not only pass those exams, but excel in those exams so that they're at the exact top of that merit list. And even if someone gets into, for example, we have a good friend who's gotten into a medical university, good on him, right? But did he get into the best medical university in Pakistan? Did he have a chance to get into the best medical university in Pakistan because of, well, I don't think so, because that dude's capped at 90%, right? He can't compete at that level. And there are a lot of people who would have been very competent in this profession. And I mean, I can't say that for sure, but you have to at least give them the chance, right?
like to add on that yes, someone does. Some of them do get into the top ones, all right, not even the best ones. Like let's say a good university, okay. But you have to also consider that there are a lot who won't even get into the, let's say, okay university. They'll have to actually go for the gap year because of this thing. And like you're ruining a whole generation, and they have to go through the whole gap year. And the other thing is you're demotivating your students. What if the kids you're neglecting right now, these guys are the future of your country, and these will be the future doctors. You're actually discrediting your own future doctors, and if that isn't bad for your own country, what is bad then?
Also,
You're
something
destroying
that's
the whole
really
generation.
terrible about the whole system is that every other university has their own entry exam. I know that there are groups of universities in Pakistan that have one single exam, but the problem is that every university in Pakistan doesn't have the same exam. For example, if we had a system like the SAT, in which all universities accepted the same exam, and they said, okay, everyone's
Mm.
giving this one exam. You need to try your best for this one exam, and if you get on our merit list, then we'll send you an acceptance, right? Instead of being like, अच्छा फलानी यूनिवर्सिटी का इस डेट को एंट्री टेस्ट हो रहा है, फलानी यूनिवर्सिटी का इस डेट को हो रहा है, फलानी यूनिवर्सिटी का इस डेट को हो रहा है. मतलब I know people, they're giving like 3-4 entry tests in a summer, and after doing their A levels, after doing their FC, whatever, right? And if there were standardized entry tests, सब उसी के लिए तैयारी करते हैं, ठीक है? मतलब by standardized I mean like SAT की तरह ही होता है, इंग्लिश होता है और मैथ होता है, ठीक है? And for
हाँ,
people who are doing medical, उनके
हाँ,
साथ एक SAT 2 टाइप एक चीज होती है ना, क्या कहते हैं वो, साइंसेस
हाँ,
भी साथ दे देते, एक मैथ का एडिशनल टेस्ट होता है. मतलब इस तरह एडिशनल टेस्ट वगैरह आप उसके अंदर ऐड ऑन कर देना स्पेसिफिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स के हिसाब से. और फिर हर यूनिवर्सिटी बता
हाँ।
देती कि हमारा इधर से इधर तक रेंज है इस साल का, तो इधर से इधर तक वाले स्टूडेंट्स को हम दे देंगे. ट्रांसपेरेंट हो ना एडमिशन, थोड़ा सिस्टम हो इसका कोई.
हाँ,
ये
मतलब
ना हो कि बस हवा
दिस
में ही ना.
शोज यू जस्ट हाउ ये सारा मतलब तुम्हें शो करता है कि यार असल में तुम्हारा कितना फ्लॉड सिस्टम है पाकिस्तान का. ठीक है, देयर इज नो शुगर कोटिंग इट. द एजुकेशन सिस्टम इज रॉन्ग. ठीक है, एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज योर प्राइवेट स्कूल्स एक्चुअली put up a huge amount of revenue for your government as well in tax money.
Yeah,
ठीक है.
we'll come to that in a bit. One last thing I wanted to add
हाँ.
on before we come to that point was that what I think would be a solution. I don't think this is the best solution. I think that there are probably a number of solutions that could be applied to this problem. Uh, but that's for the government to start sitting down and coming up with ideas, right? So one solution I'd put forward would be that there should be separate admission quotas for people from FSC streams and people from A level streams, right? So that not based on how many people give FSC metric in Pakistan and how many people give OA levels in Pakistan, but the number of students of those streams applying to a specific university. For example, let's take XYZ University in Islamabad, right? And we say that 60% of its applicants are from the FSC stream, and the other 40% are from the OA level stream, right? So what that university should do is it should judge the 60% separately and create a merit list for 60% of its seats with for FSC and metric students, and create a separate merit list for the 40% coming from the other stream, the OA level stream, right? And that way, you can say, hey, what if the O level students are dumb or something and they don't get as much marks as the FSC wale? So this isn't fair at all. यार ये क्या मजाक है ना, सीटें लेंगे fixed quota या जो भी ना. But the thing is that in these the system doesn't have to be like stuck on something. You can create a flexible quota. You can say, okay, अगर इस position से आगे वाले merit में ना दोनों लिस्टों में इतना discrepancy हुआ तो we'll give more seats to the FSC students or we'll give more seats to the A level students. You can adjust, but there needs to be a rough system which at least guarantees a certain amount of students from both systems seats, right?
हाँ,
And
बिल्कुल.
I think we'll come to the part about the like how private schools contribute to Pakistan, right? Uh, One thing that people need to understand is private schools are just they're not just schools. It's a business. It's a whole industry. Okay, there's so many private schools in Pakistan now. They don't just teach O and A levels; they teach the classes before those as well. So there are so many students in these schools. They pay so much in fee challans. There's so many teachers in these schools who earn their salaries, who get paid salaries by these private institutions that make their money from those fee challans. There are people in the administration. There's domestic staff. ग्राउंड्स के माली होते हैं यार, मतलब स्कूल की सिक्योरिटी होती है काफी ज्यादा. मतलब इतने ज्यादा लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं. स्कूल की बिल्डिंग का रेंट दिया जाता है, मतलब यूटिलिटी बिल्स पे करते हैं, टैक्सेस देते हैं गवर्नमेंट को. इतने ज्यादा मतलब कि दिस and those people who earn money from the school then go and spend it, and someone else earns, and then they spend it, then someone else earns. This is called the multiplier effect in economics, right? तो क्या कहते हैं, इससे आपकी इकोनॉमी स्टिमुलेट होती है, right? So why are the people from the OA level stream suffering for stimulating the economy, right? What did they do wrong?
हाँ,
मतलब आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि
हाँ,
कोई बहुत ही ज्यादती हुई है या एफएससी वालों ने की या ओए लेवल वालों का कोई मसला है, जो भी ना, I'm just saying that these are two systems, both at fault, and both need some correcting, right? There's a lot to talk about how
हाँ,
private schools के खराब हैं, फी
हाँ.
का मसला होता है, ये
I
या
would
वो
just
जो भी.
like to add one
But
thing. Just like to
in
add
one
one thing.
episode, I think we've covered as much as we could about this. Do you have anything to add on?
Just gonna add one thing before we run out of time. I just want to add, okay, instead of discrediting the students, the government should actually focus on funding their own schools, bringing them up a standard to compete with the private schools, and that is the only way you can get them. You cannot just shut down a whole generation और फिर एक्सपेक्ट करो कि यार हाँ वो मजबूरन इधर आएंगे. नो one's gonna come मजबूरन, ठीक है, मजबूरी से कोई बंदा नहीं
Exactly,
आएगा. पीपल
Altaf.
आर गोना हैव टू पे मोर. तो फिर आपकी अब, और उसी की वजह से एक और चीज़ है कि मुझे अभी ख्याल आया कि जो आपकी जो फीसों के ऊपर जो लड़ाइयाँ चल रही हैं, लाइक पेरेंट्स कैन नॉट पे प्राइवेट स्कूल की फीस, वो क्यों है? क्योंकि दे वांट टू गो टू प्राइवेट स्कूल्स, क्योंकि आपके गवर्नमेंट स्कूल फ्लॉड हैं. एंड उन बेचारों को अब कर्जे लेके जो भी
And the
करके
thing
अपने
is,
बच्चों को
the
प्राइवेट
demand is
प्राइवेट
high,
स्कूल
right?
में पढ़ाना
Because
पड़ता
something we also discussed was that in somewhat like let's say middle class families, it's very common
है.
that सब मतलब प्राइवेट स्कूल नहीं जाते हैं अभी. मतलब किसी जमाने में सब मतलब
हाँ,
पब्लिक जाते थे, ये होता था, ये सेमी गवर्नमेंट जाते थे, ये नॉर्म था
हाँ,
बिल्कुल. बट अभी नॉर्म इस
हाँ,
प्राइवेट स्कूल में जाना, ओए लेवल्स करना है, ठीक है, वो एक
हाँ,
मतलब क्लास वाला जो
हाँ,
भी समझा जाता होगा या जो भी, ठीक है.
हाँ,
मतलब नो वन नाउ सेज कि अच्छा नहीं एफएससी करनी है, ठीक है. तो अभी वो
हाँ,
स्टक है,
बिल्कुल.
डिमांड बढ़ गई, प्राइवेट स्कूल्स को भी पता ही है कहीं और जा नहीं सकते, हर स्कूल अपने प्राइस साथ बढ़ाते हैं, ठीक है, एंड
हाँ,
दे कांट एस्केप. देन गवर्नमेंट करेक्ट नहीं करती, गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेट नहीं करती, और उससे एक प्रॉब्लम बन जाते हैं ना. फिर मतलब
हाँ,
प्राइवेट schools can do whatever they want. खैर, this I think that's a whole different discussion for another time. uh,
yep.
thank you for listening. अगर आप अभी तक सुन रहे हैं तो यार क्या ही बात है. अच्छा, तो if
Okay.
you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, share and subscribe. If you're watching this on Instagram, IGTV, then make sure to like, comment, let us know about what you think, let us know if we forgot to mention something. I
क्या
think we'll
करना
be
चाहिए
making a
फ्यूचर.
separate podcast to be discussing gap years and other things, university admissions more, I guess. uh, और फॉलो करें अगर आप इंस्टाग्राम पे हैं. आई थिंक दैट्स प्रीटी मच इट. दाफ, चलो कुछ और
हाँ,
करें.
अगर इनको अगर पसंद आया तो लेट अस नो, और बस यही है.
मैसेज कर दें अगर कुछ और आपने किसी टॉपिक सजेस्ट करना है हमें पॉडकास्ट के लिए, कोई क्रिटिक है तो वो भी मैसेज करके बता दीजिएगा. चलो जी,
Yes.
अल्लाह हाफिज.
Yes.